As you can tell, I'm not in my studio right now. I am currently visiting some family, so today's video is gonna look a little bit different. I hope you don't mind. I haven't talked a lot about neopronouns. It's definitely becoming more popular, and I found some pretty funny videos I'm gonna react to today, so enjoy.
Let's talk about my pronouns. So I use z, them, zir pronouns. These are a singular pronoun, so you conjugate it the same way you would with he or she. Z has green and purple hair. I like zir makeup, and I think that cool vest belongs to them. So that's how you use my pronouns. Let me know if you guys use neopronouns, because I think they're very cool, and I like hearing all the variations of them.
No one is ever gonna call you that. This person's appearance is actually relevant because if you don't want to be called he or she, the only two genders that exist, there's no such thing as a gender neutral person. So that's why I'm not including they, them in my equation. If you don't want people to call you he or she, a man or a woman, it's like you don't want to be human at all. So this woman, I'm guessing, on testosterone, doesn't want to be seen as a woman, that's one thing. But with the whole neopronouns, it's like she doesn't want to be seen as a human either, which is quite disturbing. I know that people will make fun of her in the comments down below, and I think people expect me to make fun of her appearance, but I'm more concerned about what she's doing to herself because it shows that her mental health is not the greatest. If you don't want to look like a human and you want to look like an elf or a clown or both, I don't think you're feeling that well mentally. Okay, I'm just brainstorming, but I think some trans activists, like this person, maybe experienced something traumatic in their childhood where they obviously could not control going through a traumatic experience. So that's why they desperately want to control other people today. And the other theory that I have, which is the truth, most trans activists want to control your speech, the majority of all people's speech and thoughts, because they know that deep down, their gender identity is not valid. Moving on, the next video I want to show you is a woman reacting to a man who makes fun of neopronouns and doesn't believe in it at all.
I'm an adult, I'm non-binary, I'm autistic. What you just said was transphobic and ableist. Not only are you making a comment on a community you are not a part in, you don't even really know what xenogenders and neopronouns are.
I know this is a given, but you don't need to be a part of a certain community just in order to talk about the community. Especially when we talk about the QIA plus community that constantly wants attention from the rest of the world, who wants to force the majority to accept them. But that's the thing. They want you to blindly support them no matter what and no matter what they say or do.
They are made by non-binary autistic people. You must also have this weird preconceived notion that everyone who uses xenogenders and neopronouns must be a chronically online 14-year-old non-binary person. You are wrong. I'm an adult. I'm turning 22 in a couple weeks. I use neopronouns.
Okay, so it's 14-year-olds and 22-year-olds who spend too much time on TikTok who feel the need to use neopronouns. If this is truly who you are, why did you need TikTok in order to discover who you are? The beautiful thing about being LGBT, and yes, it includes the T, is that you can be on a deserted island and still be LGBT. Being LGBT is not a choice, and it's also biological. So you don't need the internet to find out that you're gay, or even trans, or gender dysphoric. But you actually need the internet to find out that you're non-binary, that you are a Zimzer.
I go by xenogenders. I just don't post them here. Mainly because of people like you. I don't have to argue over my identity every day because I already have to do that in real life because I live in the South.
Of course you live in the South, but just because you don't post videos about you using neopronouns, which you actually just did, just because you're not a neopronouns influencer, doesn't mean that you didn't get the idea from TikTok or other platforms. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers saying, I don't care what you identify as. I actually do care. Identifying as something that's not human, using neopronouns, will not make you feel better mentally. So yes, I do care. I'm sorry, but the last time I checked, trans activism won't cure autism. The last time I checked, trans activism doesn't make anyone happier and more healthy. Why not be honest with these people? Why not say, look, I can clearly tell that you're upset, you're frustrated because people don't respect your identity, but the reason why people don't want to use your preferred neopronouns is because it's ridiculous and it has nothing to do with reality. Why not say, we actually give a F about you, we actually care about you, so we're not gonna pretend that you're an animal or you're not human. You are a she, and if you want to transition due to gender dysphoria, you're a he, and vice versa in other situations. We respect you so much that we don't want to call you, well, let's hear what her neopronouns are.
Now, I do not have time in a TikTok video or even a YouTube video to explain to you why being perceived as deer-like or being called dear, dear self pronouns gives me euphoria. I can't explain that to you because it would, one, I don't have the vocabulary and the words to describe it.
Well, you clearly can describe it. You use the term euphoria. When you look at the definition of euphoria, it actually says it's an irrational feeling, which is not surprising because most trans activists use this term. What do you mean you don't have the time? You don't have the time to explain why people have to respect your neopronouns, have to respect your identity? As I said, they want you to blindly affirm them. How does that work? I live a happy life, and even when I was really miserable mentally due to gender dysphoria, I was always surrounded by loving and tolerant people. People always tried their best to call me he and him and Marcus, and it was hard because I didn't pass for years actually. But the reason why I wasn't surrounded by people who refused to accept me or respect my new name and set of pronouns, I was always respectful, always polite, and tried to explain my situation. Even though it was hard for me to explain how I felt, I still tried to. I still respected all of these people around me. So I think they automatically tried their best not to make me feel dysphoric, and it's all due to mutual respect. But you don't believe in this concept, and that's the issue. And that's why you're so frustrated all the time. People sense that you don't respect them. So maybe you feel like you don't have the time to explain what you're going through, but then it's your fault when you're not being affirmed. Then it's your fault that people don't automatically understand it and respect it. Huh. If neopronouns don't affect the majority of all people, are you saying that they don't need to use them then? At all? Ever? Be careful what you wish for. To state the obvious, of course, neopronouns affect us all because you demand us to use them. I know autistic people from all over the spectrum. They have never claimed to view gender in a different way than everybody else. Wait, it's actually really offensive to claim that autistic people don't know what's reality and what's not. Believe that the grass is purple and not green. Due to my autism, I think the grass is purple. But I think these activists use autism in this case is because they know that people are so afraid of offending any type of community that's a little bit different. In this case, it's autistic people. They're afraid to offend them. And I get it, but if you don't question this rhetoric, you're on accident generalizing all autistic people. It's accidentally gonna look like that you don't care about autistic people and their mental health, since you don't want to be critical of neopronouns, be critical of them using trans activism and neopronouns, not telling them that not living in reality is not going to make you feel better, necessarily, most likely. So that's why I'm bringing this up. I don't care if you're autistic, I don't care what you are, basically. I do not discriminate. Trans or gender ideology is a harmful ideology, and I don't want anyone to believe in gender ideology. I want all people to live in the real world. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support my work, my PayPal is in the description down below, but no pressure whatsoever, because I'm already super grateful for all of you. Remember, you can become a member of this channel. We have so much fun, so come join us. Follow me on Twitter and Rumble, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.